Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in a Desert Dark Crusade Season 2. This fine evening, we set the scene actually within within Ulric's Haven in Odessa. Having gotten the word of infernalism within the city, the Toreador clan having been tainted, corrupted, infested by the heresies of hell itself. Ulric has decided to make his way to his home. It was called his former home, to prepare for an expedition of sorts. For he has not been idle during his time as prince, and came here with a specific purpose in mind, and has been researching that purpose for quite some time. And that is where he is headed as he walks into his haven, where his child is waiting, poised and ready.
I mean, one very important question. Does she know he's coming?
Yes.
Okay. I need to change my picture. Because she doesn't know why he's here, and she has a certain thing that she needs to do tonight. So she thinks. So, yeah, after her usual thing that she does of like hunting and such, she she's back in the haven in the noble's quarter. She is as fast as she can. She is trying to put on the armor that she bought. There we go. Because yeah, she has a destination that she really needs to be tonight, which is the palace of the prince, to at least try and attempt to stop whatever is going to happen there, and most importantly, try and stop Johanna. So she puts on like the basically the dark underdress, and then the breastplate and the sort of skirts, and finally is like fidgeting on the braces to probably actually with the help of her servant ghoul, the an old, well, middle-aged nun, is there getting on the braces around her arms. That's probably where Ulrich will find her. Yeah, as he opens the door, she'll immediately kind of stand up, and brace is probably not even entirely on, but hey, she doesn't care, and she'll wave the ghoul away for a moment, and curtsies again, doing a very deep and almost I would say I would go to say professional curtsy, and remains in that position on the ground, even though with armor that's like,
Not
yeah,
easy.
no, not easy. You know what? Fuck it. I'll try and roll it. I'll even make it like a dex etiquette to make sure
Appearance
it
etiquette.
happens gracefully.
Let's give it
Appearance
to
etiquette, it's fine.
the limelight here.
But because it's with armor, I thought like do dex penalty. So yeah, but hey,
Just appearance etiquette. It's fine. You're just trying to
appearance etiquette.
look. You're trying to look and appear polite.
No,
Well, I mean, that's
still
3
that's
successes.
4 if I can count my specialty of courtly manners.
You're not in court.
True, but still, it's courtly manners. That doesn't mean that they just need to be in court.
Side
Uh,
eye.
3 or 4 successes, whatever. It looks as graceful as fuck, especially because yeah, she's doing it while being in armor.
Ulric doesn't really stand on ceremony.
Yeah.
You kind of bow. He walks forward. Um,
She will stay in that position, like courtesy to the ground.
he kind of makes a fairly anxious up motion kind of thing. Very kind of brisk. Not really like him.
Yeah, she'll get up. Prince Ulric, it is a pleasure to see you again.
Likewise, but we don't have time to stand on ceremony. I need to know what happened.
From where do you need to know? From which point? What do you know?
Lady Madeleine came to me.
She spoke with you regarding the situation in Lady Johanna's house. If she has already told you, why do you need to hear from me?
Oh no, Eirene has a backbone, of course.
I mean, she's still like he says he doesn't have a lot of time. Why would he want to hear her story twice? It's nothing to do with having a backbone. It has to do with common sense. Jeez.
Fuck you. Calling you out. Um, exactly why. You have a habit of seeing of things that people otherwise do not see. Is there any other information you can tell me?
I can give you the vision as I saw it. I can give you the events as I saw them. And I can tell you what I've tried to do to stop them. But like you said, we do have little time. I want to be in the palace as soon as possible. I mean, if he doesn't stop her, she will literally go through the vision exactly as
Yeah.
basically what's in my blue booking, because I've explained this 3 or 4 times now to people.
Yep. That's fine.
So yeah, she goes through all the details in the vision, explaining as thoroughly as she can, unless he's basically telling her to move on. She'll explain about her asking Johanna to go to someone that she trusts and to remain staked until, well, what is now tomorrow. And how Johanna refused and told them to all to go. How there was discussion amongst everyone, and indecisiveness. And finally, when they tried staking Johanna, first Madeline got thrown away out of the roof, well, through the roof. Then Ulric, and finally, after the place got like basically put on fire, her and Torvald and Merchant of Bones were forced to flee. Well, actually, no. Thorvald and Merchant of Bones fled, and she tried one last time to stake Johanna, using the crucifix as a distraction. And that made Johanna flee in turn. And she'll then describe how she sent out word to the seneschal, how she sent out the letter to the salubri, and then after talking to Madeline, she went down to the salubri, then to the Tzimitzi, and to her own coterie. And there are literally like a couple of half-finished letters on like the desk that she still wanted to send out but couldn't because it was getting day, and like she literally had to run to be in her bedroom on time. I apologize, I could not do enough. There was not enough time. All we can do now is go to the palace and try and stop this, which is what I intend to do. She starts fidgeting on like the one of the braces again, trying to get it like done by herself. And yeah, she'll wait for Ulric's reply.
Sorry. Ulric just says, we're not going to the palace.
I have to. We have to try and stop this. Why would we not go there?
We'll have little impact there. And even if we were to make a difference, it would not prevent the person we're trying to stop from getting what they want.
What do they want?
I've been looking into that for quite some time, but I believe I've finally discovered what it might be. And I know where one of them are located. One of them is located.
All right.
But I'm still unsure as what they intend to do with it.
With what? What is it that you're after?
I'll explain on the way. I have a small group of other, shall we say, those vehemently predisposed against infernalism.
I see.
As for Toreador, they need to be properly looked over.
It is not up to me to judge them. Yes, Eirene remembers very well what it's like to be taken over by something else.
I will not stand by while a demon takes over the city and slaughters its people.
Neither would I.
Let us go then. We'll be heading outside the city.
Yes, my prince. Eirene will finish like tying up the last pieces of her armor, and she'll strap on her like long knife slash dagger, because it's the only weapon that she has. And yeah, she'll follow Ulric.
You follow Ulric.
Yes.
He takes you outside.
Oh my.
There are two people. Waiting. One of them's Abraham.
She'll give him a quick curtsy.
One is this person.
Huh.
I need to give you a description. So, this woman is very dark skinned. Her skin is beginning to go char black. Fairly tall, well toned, but also kind of slender. You know, there's a fair amount of muscle tone, but she looks quite
Dexterous.
yeah, a bit more limber and slender. You know, well toned, but not a ton of muscle mass. Fairly tall though. Doesn't have is simply wearing this sort of traveling gear, kind of fairly light on her feet. Simple kind of long leather boots. Fairly thin brown, almost common, but kind of not thin. It's like this actually they're fairly thick, as in they're built to withstand kind of harsh weather. And it's wearing a leather cuirass with with a few bandoliers kind of strapped across her shoulder and her waist. She has quite a few weapons.
Nice.
She has several swords, about a dozen throwing knives. You can see she has a bow and a quiver full of arrows. But has not masked herself as in the overlay.
I mean, Eirene will give a quick curtsy because, however, Ulric says that there's not much time for etiquette. There's still always time for etiquette. At least some. The curtsy is more like a more extended nod, but at least it is there.
I'm trying. She looks at you and doesn't really nod. She actually just looks at Ulrich and gives him kind of a weird look, as if you look out of place here.
I mean, she does. What the
Yes,
fuck is a
she
fledgling
does.
doing in this company?
You Ulrich just simply says first, Layla, Irene, Irene, Layla.
Erin
Let's
will
not
once
dawdle.
again give a nod, and she'll follow her sire.
Get on the carriage.
Yay, carriage.
Not a carriage, it's more like a wagon built for more off-road stuff.
Yay, wagon. Yeah, she'll get in, and as she does so, she's also gonna basically spend a blood point in Dex to just basically negate her armor penalty.
Okay. You'll get in the wagon. You begin riding off.
Mhm.
Heading outside, you're heading towards the southeast side of the city. It's past Zengid's wall. As you're heading out, Ulric will speak and give you the answers that you sought. It's come to my attention that ever since I relinquished this princedom, a number of Canaanites came across several artifacts that are heavily suspect in nature. I'm aware my clan possesses at least one.
You talking about the? She kind of looks at Abram and then at Layla. The thing we found in the Sethite temple.
That part of the temple is not a Sedai temple at all.
Oh,
In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if those who were there before the Sedites were in fact infernalists. In fact, I can say with the utmost certainty that they were. And that they hold items of great importance, it appears, to the one I have chased here.
but it is one of the items that you speak of.
According to what very little information I've been able to accrue. It appears our target is looking for these artifacts because it appears to pertain to some matter to the past from whence they came.
The Obsidian Black City?
I cannot say for certain whether that is its origin point or not. What I can say is that it is highly likely that Mary the Black is looking to acquire these items. Almost certainly towards some mystical matter.
Why now?
I'm uncertain. It's possible it is simply unfinished business.
It seems too well timed to be a coincidence.
Many are unaware of how and why Michael was destroyed. The fall of Constantinople comes down to Mary the Black, and it all comes down to the petty matter of an age-old grudge. In other words, unfinished business.
She nods slowly.
This is perhaps the next thing on her list. But again, I don't know what she intends to do with it. I'd rather not find out.
I agree.
We can't engage Merida Black right now. Not currently. One, because we don't know where she is, and even if we did, it's unlikely we'd be able to defeat her in a direct engagement.
I understand.
But what we can do is interfere with her activities and force her to come to us. It will be our one advantage.
All right. So you intend to get as many of these artifacts?
There are at least 8, maybe more. They're all stone tablets.
Hmm. Prince Ulric.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you wouldn't say mm-hmm. That's just me being way too casual out of character.
That's fine.
Yes?
Why do you require my aid? I am only a fledgling, and I'm not saying that I'm not grateful for the opportunity to help. But as you already said, there was little I could do at the palace. What makes you think I can do something here?
Few of us would be able to change what will occur at the palace. Any of what you said is true. No being would willingly enter the prince's domain if they had not prepared to end that confrontation very directly and very swiftly. And we are not dealing with simple elders. What we are after, however, will most likely be unguarded and give us an opportunity to delay further action on the part of our enemies. Personally, if I'm to be completely honest, I do not know what this tactician wants, and I do not know what the wishing woman wants. I do know, however, that directly or not, it serves the ends of our greater enemy.
And with our greater enemy, you're saying Blackberry, correct?
Who else?
I saw a mass of tentacles, shadows, and eyes. I had not seen that in my previous vision.
Hmm.
I figured that might be an unknown enemy that has yet to
Possibly.
reveal itself. You fucking roll me that subterfuge, bitch.
You want me to roll subterfuge?
I mean, it's not an unknown enemy to you. Probably because you wiped a certain vision of my mind.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember doing that. One sec, I'm just... I like how Ulric's specialty is lies.
Hmm.
Feels so out of character, yet actually
It
it's really in.
does.
He gets 5 successes. Have fun.
Oh, I can't even. I have 5 dice to roll at this.
Yeah, he's chill. Yeah, he's chill
Yeah,
as fuck.
he's chill. Hey, whatever. You could have botched.
And yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, you should have me wrong because there is no matter what the dice pull, you can always, there
Mm,
is always a chance of success. No matter how unlikely, there's always the opportunity.
yeah.
Um, but Ulrich simply continues. These figures, dangerous though they may be, have not destroyed an entire nation, an empire of princedoms, and the one spot of hope in a sea of blackness.
Do you think they might be pawns in her game, whether they know it or not?
I am certain of it. There's no
Are
such
we?
thing as coincidences within our society.
That is fair. So, where are we going exactly?
Not all of these artifacts are in the possession of Canaanites. Some of them are still unfound, undiscovered. I've been spending most of my time as prince looking for them when I haven't been tending to matters of domain. I believe I found one. And the more we can come to possess, the more we can keep it out of the hands of Merida Black, and the more she'll be pressed to come after us, which will give us the opportunity to prepare.
Not all of us are capable of preparing for such a thing.
Did she say not all of us are capable of preparing for such a thing?
Yeah. I mean, Irene knows how the last confrontation went.
It's true. Beat her once, you can do it again. So will we.
Do you have a specific task for me?
You have the most experience out of these matters of any one of us here.
I see.
As such, you may be clued in to information that we would not be privy to. It could be something as simple as a symbol on a wall, for all we know.
I understand.
I'll say this, Irene.
Yes.
If things go well here, you can come home.
I would prefer to finish the task that you set, whether I succeed or fail.
Out of character, I have to admit, I feel fucking ways about that statement, and I want to punch you.
I mean, Irene
You
has her pride.
hypocritical piece of shit.
Irene has her pride.
Fucking backtracking. Oh, look at me. Look at this reverse gear I just invented, specifically for the purposes of having Irene walk backwards.
I mean, she does really want to finish a task, but she will add to it. I would like to be able to visit, though. I must confess that I missed our conversations.
You'd be more than welcome. If tonight goes well.
Yes, my prince.
Myself and Layla will deal with any threats that are possibly present. Abraham, you're a symbol of strength, a degree of purity that the Infernal cannot abide. If any one of you even suspects for a moment that you are being affected by the corruption within the place that we're about to head to, retreat to him immediately. He'll be able to help you. Do not take risks. This matter is too important.
I understand. My prince, would you mind to wear this? She takes off the crucifix and hold it up to him.
Layla actually looks fairly suspicious. Well, actually, it doesn't look suspicious, but she looks bemused. Ulric,
I mean, he probably doesn't need it, but hey.
Ulric will put it on.
Yay.
Thank you. When we enter the temple, I'll give us cover from whatever may be within there. I'll scout it ahead, give us an idea of what we might be running into. So I'm sure you've noticed, little Eirene, we're not exactly certain what we're facing, if we're going to face anything at all. In fact, I do find the task of finding an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there to be incredibly entertaining. Just my personal thoughts. She smiles sarcastically.
Eirene looks pretty serious.
Layla looks skeptical in a sarcastic fashion.
I mean, she's allowed her opinions. Eirene has visited the temple before with many unexpected things.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if anyone's not allowed an opinion here, there's only one character. But yes, you're continuing to trundle on as this goes on. To go over the plan a couple times. Ulric asks you how you've been doing, and quite openly in front of these two figures. Like in terms of your progress and like the tasks and everything, he knows you've been doing well for yourself. Layla kind of leans back, yeah, against like the wooden sideboards of the wagon, and but Abraham's just remained fairly still and has kind of had a calm, pleasant smile on his face this whole time. Whenever Layla seems to give like a sort of look or expression, Abraham does not actually refer to it in distaste as would be expected, but actually seems fairly at ease with it. He just smiles at her with like this. It's kind of like where she looks skeptical, he seems to overbear her with just optimism. Which only causes this cycle to perpetuate itself. Yes. So, do you talk about how well you're doing?
What Irene is doing? I mean, she
How
is.
she's been doing, like,
Oh,
in the world, influence, that sort of thing.
I mean, um, she'll explain like about House Orbellion. She'll explain the idea of the aqueduct and and like the party she threw for the city watch. I mean, and she'll also like explain like how she got like a little bit of that small folk influence basically by you know um the stuff she'd been doing in Riverside and everything. She'll also tell about like the thing that they did with the plague rats and yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it just gives a uh as non-emotional as she can, like basically just kind of like answers his questions.
Careful now, we don't gonna get carried away.
I mean, not on these things. These are just, like basically how have you been doing with your lessons? So, yeah, there's not much that she that she feels regarding that.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, she'll also tell him of like the first vision that she got regarding the tactician and the wishing woman and everything. And that's probably where she will like look more troubled and like she looks back in the direction of the city of Odessa, wondering. But basically, like you don't need to be any of that. She's like pretty worried about what's happening there right now.
hmm. Our kind of response in way he seems fairly understanding. Notes that you seem to have been very busy, um, very productive. There's some small measure of pride that he seems to express, in that you seem far more capable than most of the rabble running around in the city right now. He plays you up. Layla's having none of it. Abraham's having all of it.
Irene's having none of it. Like she can, I mean, she'll take the compliment, but they can clearly see that she does not feel it's that way. She will not like dismiss those of higher station in that regard.
Keep him to the first. Scum. He'll
Hmm,
be first to die when the Anak revolt occurs.
that's fine.
Okay. As you kind of talk, despite the talking, you are aware that Ulric is on guard the entire time, as is everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
including Irene, for
mm.
that matter.
Despite the fact that they're talking, it's almost like in some ways it's like a clever little disguise. Like you seem so casual on how you're discussing matters. Seems like it's just kind of another night. You're off to do a job. You're chatting, relax. But pretty much everyone is as sharp as a razor's edge right now. Uh,
I mean, Irene will comment at some point. Like basically through the conversation. At one point, she'll just kind of stop and then think for a moment and says, "Madeline told me that you have been back in the cave. That you went there. You told me as much as well. I do not know what you may have seen there, but there was some sort of force that came to life when we made our way out. We should be careful when we go in, but also when we go out again."
Agreed. As you kind of discuss this matter, you begin to arrive at your destination. Ulric will have everyone stop about 500 meters out, so half a kilometer out. You'll make the rest of your way on foot.
Yeah. Erin will follow like the black brown. Well, the good fledgling she is.
And you're a good fledgling, yes you are.
So good.
You make your way down. It's dark out. You have night vision.
No.
Ulric turns on his red eyes. Abraham's senses sharpen to accommodate the lack of light. And Layla is about as screwed as you are.
Yay! Not the only one.
You begin making your way through. You walk forward about 10 meters from the carriage wagon. Leia just turns to the group. I'll move up ahead. Do not be surprised if you cannot see me. And will disappear. Snap, crackle, and pop. Ulric tells the rest of the group to move up very cautiously. Eirene, stick by Abraham, is what you are told.
Yeah. You will do so.
Because if anyone here is likely to die, you know it's true.
It's probably Irene.
Yes. Um,
Actually, quick question. How quick does lethal heal?
it doesn't. Like,
Okay.
damage doesn't. So, damage,
No, I wasn't quite sure if that was only ag or if that also counts for lethal, but then.
lethal only costs a single point of heal and can be healed at any time.
I've had such bad luck with dice rolls lately. Um,
What do you mean? You don't need to.
I'm,
If you're not in combat, you don't need to roll with survival to heal lethal.
I know, but if I would spend my blood right now to heal the 2 lethal that I still have, then I would be on 4 blood, and I think that's a little problematic.
Mm.
I'll spend 1 blood to heal 1 lethal.
Okay. As you begin to move down on this place, it kind of comes into view proper. It is nothing so crude as a dungeon. It is literally just what appears to be some sort of landmark. Literally the ruins of a building that was once here obviously has been gone for a great period of time. As you begin moving closer, Layla literally pops back to you in front of you. Pop, crackle, snap. There's no one there. Seems the coast is clear for now. We should hurry though. Looks like others have been here before. There are more than a few tracks. I can't tell you, of course, if they're canite or not. It's possible this place was just maybe used as a campsite once. Either way, let's have a look around, see what we can find. And yeah, you kind of enter the sort of landmarked area. It's a fairly large landmark. The picture doesn't really do it appropriate. It's like not an appropriate sense of scale. You can see on the picture it does kind of go up a hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a few kind of areas of shelter, like where the place has been a bit more well preserved. But it's not like it's a dungeon or anything. It's not like the ruin you went to last time, which was literally some sort of secret hidden temple.
Yeah.
This place is literally just a plain ruin. And yeah, would you like to roll me perception awareness as you kind of begin looking around?
Yes, sir.
Will the other characters do so as well?
Eh.
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 What's the diff?
6.
Okay, then I have 1 success.
Yeah, for you, 6. For everyone else, it's 8 because they don't really know what they're looking for. You, on the other hand, at least have some experience in the matter. Oh, Ulric has a lucky break. And I'll roll another 8 dice. Okay, so well, Layla isn't really having much luck and just seems to be keeping watch, looking for anyone who might be passing by, spying for any intruders. She actually disappears and leaves her searching to the rest of you. Again, kind of just snap, crackle, and popping out of view. And you're all kind of looking around, but eventually, you're. Oh, sorry.
Well, I just kind of wanted to point out that Eirene does not just simply look like searches with her eyes. She's used to like touch things. It's something that she also often does when she's nervous. So she'll just kind of let her hands glide past like the rubble and the walls that she's walking past.
Okay. Most of it is just rubble. As you kind of move towards the center area, looks like this is one of the areas that was better preserved. You can kind of feel like what would be faint markings if they weren't just so horribly eroded. Maybe it was once supposed to be a signal or something. But you can't really tell what it is. It's too faded, it's too far gone. It's this place is really old. This place is extremely old. Um, you reckon putting it at centuries old is charitable? You can make an academics roll if you want. You've got
Why
history
not?
as your area of expertise.
Intelligence academics?
As long as your area of expertise is history.
It is.
Yes, you got it.
No shit.
It's really old.
Yep.
Maybe
I think the curses have stopped in Dice Roller 1 and are now on to Dice Roller 3.
ever considered that the problem might be you?
Yeah. That's what I always used to think when it was Hangouts.
Yeah, but you head towards the center area. Appears to be some sort of this was definitely clearly supposed to be an altar of religious significance, but it's too hard to tell what it is. It's all broken up into like 3 or 4 different pieces. Not really much else to say there. It's still like it's kind of semi fallen apart, but like a bit of it is still like standing. A fair amount of it actually. Like you could
Okay.
probably put a person on there.
Huh.
The whole thing will put together. You probably could put quite a few people on there. To be fair, you could probably fit 3 people just to line them up.
Can I make any kind of knowledge check to see what kind of religion this would be?
Ooh.
Like
Um.
either enigmas, heart wisdom, occult, theology, academics, but yeah.
Archaeology isn't really a subject yet.
No.
So roll difficulty 9.
Okay.
You can
What do you
roll
want me
half
to roll?
wisdom at diff 6. It'll kind of give you access to sort of folklore and the sort of like old wives' tales version.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the trade-off is that the information is less reliable, but may give you more insight into the sort of less natural matters of this place.
Mm-hmm. And what could I roll at diff 9? I'll roll the heart wisdom first, and then I'll repeat the question.
Roll a half wisdom, sorry.
Okay. And that is... Really should have more of that stuff, but yeah. Oh, now I have 2 successes.
That's half wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you remember one of the stories. You want your retaining that middle-aged nun friend. She's quite a few tales to share. Um, she mentions 1 second as I actually look up this place because I don't want to actually. Yeah, it's there are some tales about this place of where the people of old used to worship great animal gods of old
Mm.
and animal men. Wouldn't be too dissimilar from the notion of
Snake
a
man.
minotaur or something like that. But I mean,
Mm.
there's no such symbology here, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But very much sort of feral folk worship. Definitely, really old paganism doesn't really fit any pagan religion of which you're aware, not Roman paganism, Greek, Egyptian, that sort of thing. Doesn't fit any of those. Seems to predate all of it,
Mm-hmm.
based on what you've heard. Uh, that um, people would give their blood and lives to these creatures of two worlds.
Hmm. It's interesting as she slowly lets her finger kind of slide across this altar. Mm. She'll look over to the others to see if they found anything.
And when Ulric walks over, the altar crumbles just a little bit.
She'll hold up her hand to Ulrich, like, wait.
What is it?
I don't know, it seemed to. The altar seemed to move slightly, almost like starts to fall apart when you approach. Can you take 2 steps?
He'll take 2 steps forward, and the closer he does, the dust kind of blows off of it, and it just kind of cracks and then just crumbles.
Interesting.
You notice the ground beneath you is very hard.
So she'll start kind of like push away parts of the altar.
Um, there's not really much beneath it,
Hmm.
although as Auric kind of moves towards you and kind of gives you a helping hand with his mighty potence. The rubble kind of shifts away from him, and actually the kind of the dust on the ground, the dirt, the stone, the rubble, the debris, all just kind of shifts away from him, revealing a very uh, plain stone floor, like very smooth.
Irene is trying to find if this might actually be different material altogether. So she's basically just, wiping away more of the dust and more of the, yeah, stuff to see, like, is that a different color stone or anything?
The stone itself is definitely a flaw, and it seems remarkably well preserved, um, relative to the rest of this place. At least it does have its own fair share of damage and markings. Um,
Any markings that look like they may have been, you know, like chipped in there deliberately?
Yes, but again, they're heavily damaged, they're incomplete.
Not any kind of symbol that you might recognize.
Mm, roll me intelligence occult. I'm gonna say difficulty 9.
Okay. So, yeah, she looks up at Ulric. It's like this floor seems to be older than the rest of this stuff, but I don't know. I mean, the altar doing that when you walked up to it feels unusual, but I don't know what it would mean. This did seem to be like a sort of pagan style of altar. And
Um,
it could have been used for human sacrifices or blood sacrifices.
Possibly. Let's have a quick look around the rest of the area before we go any further. I don't want to miss anything.
I agree.
You can maybe second perception alertness roll. Difficulty 8 this time though.
Mhm. 2
Oh
successes.
hey. Okay, you find so this place is comprised of layers. Um it's like a bunch of circular compounds. It's basically a circular it's a circular compound and each one is like smaller and goes deeper, right? And then you've
Mhm.
got the plateau which kind of surrounds it. Um, in in the second layer, so halfway down, you currently the altar itself is in the first layer.
Mhm.
I've completely butchered the layout of this place, but fuck it. Creative license. Um, you notice kind of a small alcove, like a place that could have been used for shelter.
Okay. Yeah, she'll go over there to inspect it.
Um, as you walk into this place, at first it feels rather normal. Um, looks like doesn't look like anybody would have slept here, or at least there's no evidence of furnishings for sleeping. Um, What you do come across have a um, how to say. It's like a little it's a small stony sphere. It's very smooth.
Okay.
You'd like
Uh,
me to roll me perception awareness roll?
yeah, sure. Perception awareness. I think that would be two successes.
Something about it feels off. Yeah, an uneasy feeling from it.
She'll basically does what she always does. She kind of strokes her fingers over it. Trying to see if there's like an outline of it. Because I take it it's like inside of the alcove. It's not something that's like um it's I figured something inside of the wall, or is it like something like literally standing there like a statuesque thing?
It's not standing there, it's just a small black sphere. You could hold it in the palm of your hand.
Okay, then yeah, she'll hold it.
Uh,
Yeah, she'll probably like I take it the others are with her, or are they like looking somewhere else?
looking
Because
somewhere else, but I haven't found
okay,
anything.
she'll yeah, just gesture them over. Yeah, I found this. I'm not sure what you would make of it, but feels odd, like uneasy in a way.
As you approach Ulric with it, it kind of crumples to dust. I say kind of, it absolutely does.
Hmm. Is there any explanation I can make, or I can come up with, or I can roll for regarding that?
No. It kind of slips
Figured
into the cracks in the floor.
the item itself does, or the thing does.
Yeah, the item.
I mean, is that something that looks like it's happening natural, or is it like, okay, it's going into that direction, almost like unnatural?
Unnatural.
Unnatural. I think there's something below here.
Abraham, could you take a look? Abraham will sit down and cross his legs. He'll simply say to you, please take care of my body while I'm gone.
Green will nod.
He'll well, effectively he'll slump.
Yay, all specs.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone for a few minutes. Not a few minutes, I mean, literally a few minutes.
I mean, Eirene has never seen this before, so she probably looks a little confused and a little like, oh my god, is he gonna be okay? But if Ulric is not like, acting because of that and seems to act like this is a normal thing, then yeah, she'll just stick real close to Abraham's body.
A few minutes later, and Abraham is back on his feet. He scrambles to his feet and looks in a state of shock or panic.
Are you all right?
We have a problem. There is something down there. Sleep. Torpid canite. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I fear Ulric may have been too correct. We need to move quickly. We need to destroy it now. Surprising words coming from the...
Yeah. She's like, what? Okay, night. Why would we simply strike at a K-Knight?
Is not an ordinary K-Knight.
I mean, Irene will definitely look towards Ulric.
Then we need to move. We need to break in now. We can't waste any time. If it's asleep, that means it's in torpor, and has most likely been in torpor for a fair degree of time.
I mean, we don't know a way in.
Let's make one. Abraham, how far down is it? Brace yourself, and the fall shouldn't do too much damage. Looks everyone. Layla, for the first time, seems intrigued and almost excited.
Irene will grab her dagger. It's kind of sad that she didn't bring a stake along.
And Ulric called potions through the floor.
Oh boy.
A lot of that is happening recently.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be a new hobby in Odessa.
Yes, that's precisely what happens. Everyone's gonna soak me some days. It's only bashing, I think, because it isn't terminal velocity. Oh, soak me 2 bashing. Irene.
Oh.
The other guys have high enough dice pools that I'm not gonna have them roll. I think you do.
One.
So you fall down a couple, about 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 floors. So I escalated that very quickly.
Yeah.
You fall down about half a dozen floors.
She is holding on to her dagger tight and tries to land at least semi-gracefully because she expects the others to do so. And she'll try to keep an eye on both Ulric and Abraham.
Everyone falls on down. Ayla again takes up position and obfuscates herself.
Irene will first look around to see where they actually are, what's around them.
It's really, really, really dark in here.
I figured.
Could always light a torch. Oh wait, you don't have any.
No.
Mm.
One day Irene will learn from this, but this was basically a hey, let's go now, instead of hey, you can prepare, and we most likely are going to do this, and this. But she'll make a mental note. If I get out of this next time, wherever I go, I will bring a torch.
Good. Don't see much initially. Obviously, it's really dark. There's really only the moonlight in the sky in the opening you yourselves forcibly created.
Yep.
You begin walking forward. Ulric seems to know the way forward. His eyes glow red, very brightly in the darkness.
Irene is going to stay as much as she can next to Abraham.
Abraham is following Ulric very closely. Very tightly packed group. Even Layla, like, she obfuscates for a minute, but then comes back after basically stating that she really can't see that far forward. Ulric lights a torch. Actually, no, he doesn't. He just simply unsheathes his sword because it's a burning blade.
Works.
He simply holds it out and serves as a light. Now, what you see next is far more well preserved and far more identifiable. Again, seems to be symbols of animals and, for lack of a better term, weremen. Horned, fanged men who skulk the walls. There are numerous creatures that seem to resemble chimera. As in a mix of creatures, not necessarily the actual chimera itself, but the concept of an amalgamation of natural ideas. Would you like to make me a perception occult real quick?
Yes, sir. That's 3 successes.
Some of these walls depict the temple itself back in its heyday. It also depicts it as it not as it is now, but this area in particular and this purpose seems to be that of housing. Worse still, it seems that there are guardians.
Again.
Something Abraham may have missed, because he only noted one creature.
Yeah, she'll quietly point this out to at least Ulric, presuming that the rest will listen along as well.
Ulric looks to you. He begins treading much more cautiously in response to your advice. He begins pointing his sword towards the walls, the ceilings, see if there's anything there.
Yeah, Irene will basically do the same thing that she did during the research, and just kind of let her hand ever so softly, like almost just her fingertips, let them kind of like stroke the walls.
You feel something move.
She'll immediately look at it.
One moment. See somewhere, got it. I can do it, I promise.
Can do it. And I mean, she kind of half expects that there is like creatures coming out of the wall.
Yeah.
She expected stone creatures though, like the Snake Man army.
No, these, well, they are physical. They seem to come out of the wall itself, not as part of a wall. Representing the symbols on the walls, the animals, but obviously gnarled and corrupted beyond reason. Black fiery shades.
She'll make basically a soft hissing noise, like in that way, like not screaming, but at least drawing hopefully the attention of the others on this.
Want to roll initiative?
Yes. Oh.
I'm just gonna get the critter stats. Bugger off, fox it.
Hmm?
All right. Is that okay? For all four of them. So demon critters get 7. Or servitors, as they're known.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have Ulric. Let's see, he's in his super heavy armor, which means he gets -3. He's going on a +10. He gets 11. None of my characters will ever roll above a 12. Is in much smaller ish, and he has a -1 penalty. She's going on a +13. She passed. Should be Lelia, really, but. And funny Abraham. Not one true god. He has no armor. Rolling a +8. You get 17.
Nice.
So, Lelia will go first. She has a blade. She has modified in advance. Just double checking what it does. No, she can't do that. She'll need to make a roll real quick. Oh, get back here, you. Six +3 because of the thing. So every blood point she spends counts as 2. Oh no, I did that wrong. She's just going to hit the fucking thing. That's very important. Fortitude. Should get an additional action, and that'll be that. So, also dice pool. It is 4 + 9 specialty in knives. That's another 4. Fucking Christ. Oh, nice. It's 11 successes. So, you did servitors wrong, Eirene. What are you doing? That's 10. 10 plus 5 plus 1. Plus the auto and the potence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Whew. I'll spend for fortitude. And we'll roll 2 dice. Which means it actually dies. Abraham will spend for Shepherd's Watch. His eyes burst forth. His third eye bursts open in a bright white light. Barely visible, a barely visible ward around the unicorn, and the rest of you appear. Eirene, it's your turn.
Okay.
One of
She
your
will.
creatures has been swiftly dispatched, leaving 3 more left.
Okay. She will strike at the one closest to Abraham. She did promise she would, try to keep him alive.
Yes.
So, Dex melee. Oh, is the diff for a dagger diff 5?
Yes.
Nice, then I have 5 successes.
+1. Strength +1.
Yeah, and potence. I'm not spending for it. So that is 5 plus 2 plus another 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, we'll spend for fortitude.
Of course.
course.
Come on, I'm only baby.
Well, you did 7 damage. You do 3. Heavily wounding it. It stumbles back.
Good. Can she basically place herself in between Abraham and the servitors?
Yep.
Okay, she'll take that position.
Ulric goes ham today. Spend for celerity also. 5, 10. Can't even remember if I spent for potence. I know I spent for celerity.
Yeah, you spent for celerity. I didn't hear you stating that you spent for potence. But
Okay, that's fine. What more dice to roll? It will soak. Oh no, I did the bloody ones. So he does 7 ag to it. Even if it spends for fortitude. That's really lucky on the literal. So it soaks 5 of the damage. Ulric lets out a mighty swing, but it isn't enough to stop it. He'll swing at the one you were swinging at. Actually, no, I didn't. That's cheating. He swings at another one, grabs his attention. It's their turn. One is going to attack you, Eirene.
of course.
That's a -1 penalty. You think actually would not realize I They'll be using potence.
Mm-hmm.
It does 4 aggravated damage to you.
Jesus Christ. Oh wait, I can only soak it with my armor.
Mm-hmm.
With my stamina. Sorry, I'll soak it. I'll reroll. Okay, soak 2. Take 2.
Ouch.
Yes.
You were on 2 lethal, weren't you?
I won. I spent 1
Oh,
blood
you
to
spent
heal 1
1,
more lethal.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. One will go after level. Very high. It's alright. This is spending the potence, so +1. 5, 10, 5. 5 aggravated. You will spend for fortitude reflexively, because you can do that. I haven't rolled with armor. Oh shit, no. I shouldn't have had them all roll. I apologise, I completely forgot.
Huh?
I completely ignored that Abraham had put up a ward.
We'll take it into account for the next scene.
I'll just have them roll. Okay, so the first roll, dice. Okay, so actually was the only one able to make it through. Sorry, was the only one not able to make it through.
Which one?
The one attacking Lelia.
Yeah.
Next turn. No, extractions. Lilia's going to strike the thing. Nice. 7 plus 5 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the 3 potents, 8. That's enough to kill it. It was the one that's unharmed. So, this is down to 5. She does 3 lethal to it. Not hitting you, but you can take all the hits themselves. Oracle smash hits.
Back here, let me smash.
4, 8, 11. $16. Oh yeah, no dice. He whiffs the first strike, the last one splits in half. And Leia. Come on, Leia. We go to the top of initiative with Leia again. She's gonna finish off her guy. Sorry if he's turn. So she maxes out, I think. Yeah. Oh, she's 13. Six plus 5 plus 1 is 12 plus 3 is 15 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. That dice.
Yeah, I thought I did pretty well with my like 9 dice of damage.
I mean, you're competing with guys who have like over a century of age on you.
Oh yeah, like yeah, there's no salt here. I'm like, yeah.
I think one of them has like 400 years on you.
Easily.
Hey man, if you hadn't spotted this, they would have been ambushed. They'd have all gotten a free round.
Yeah.
And extra dice.
No.
Like 5 extra dice. And no fortitudes. It's your turn. You've dealt 3 damage to one. It looks like it's fairly close to death.
Okay, then we're gonna try and hit it again.
Boop it.
Although I think I'm now at -1.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can spend a willpower to ignore wound penalties.
No, sorry, I don't have that much after the last. Like, unless you want to have Eirene curled up in a ball, not doing anything soon, then you know.
Please.
But,
That's
hey,
fucking quaint at this point.
4 successes. So that is still like only 1 die less than just now. But only 2. Only 2 lethal. But at least she's contributing. Somewhat.
It will use Fortitude to auto-save.
Hmm?
Abraham's turn. He'll spend 4 blood points
Jesus.
and heal you.
Oh.
You'll heal 1 of your ag and 1 of your lethal.
Yay.
Support friend. Ulric, thoroughly outraged that you've been assaulted. Thing. There's 5 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's enough to kill it. He's used up 2 charges out of, we'll say, like 7 or 8 on his Burning Blade, because it's already low level ritual, so. And that's the last one that falls. Still die. Looks like security was lacking.
We will thank Abraham.
Only performing my divinely ordained, I wouldn't say divinely ordained, but only performing my duties.
That still doesn't mean I cannot thank you.
Perhaps we should save the congratulations until we've got what we've come for.
Eirene will keep her dagger in hand, you know. You never know.
You continue to walk the long corridor, the long wide hallway, down and down.
At this point, Eirene is pretty sure that she's going to keep one hand, like, basically sliding past the wall.
For narrative's sake, we'll say that you come across a few more of these things, but you deal with them fairly swiftly.
Yay.
It doesn't take you too long to reach what Abraham was speaking of. In a it's not a sarcophagus. It's like a sarcophagus without a lid in a way. It's attached to the ground. It's kind of great stone container clearly built to house a person. You see it clutching a stone tablet.
Oh, so pretty.
It's really not.
No. I'll make sure to hold up the sarcasm sign next time.
Ulric surrounds it. Lelia takes one side. Abraham joins her.
Sorry, headset dying. One moment. Couldn't hear you after the beeping of it. Yes.
That's it. Ulric kind of signs to the group.
Wait, what were we doing? Because, like I said, I couldn't hear you because my headset was weeping.
Oh, sorry. Basically, Ulric takes one side of the stone coffin. Lelia and Abraham take the other side.
Eirene is looking a little bit like, do you want me to grab the slate or...
He waves you over. Beckons you.
Yeah, she'll get over.
We destroy it on 3.
She'll nod.
We need to get this right the first time if it wakes up. There's no telling what it can do. So let's now give it the opportunity.
I mean, it looks positively sick. Like, just the idea of having to kill someone, but she'll nod.
I mean, this thing is literally just... You don't get to look this way without being terrible.
I mean, probably not, but
You really don't.
Irene has never done this before, so yeah. I mean, she's doing it. She's not like necessarily hesitating. She just doesn't look too pleased to do it. Yes, she'll wait until basically Ulric starts the countdown.
He signs it.
Yeah. And Irene will plunge on 3 in unison with everyone else. She'll plunge her dagger forward.
Okay, roll your damage. Consider this as if you got max successes on your attack roll. You may also spend for potence if you want.
Sure, I'll spend for potence.
Yeah. Everyone else is. Actually, need to calculate this real quick. Ulric gets...
Well, Irene doesn't do any damage. She probably
Sorry.
just actually hits the stone slate itself. Even when she's trying to kill, she doesn't.
Well, you got strength, and then you got plus
Oh wait,
3.
there's the potence.
And the max
Sorry,
and the max successes from, like, you
Yeah.
automatically get max successes. So that's 5 successes.
Wait, +3? Where do you get the +3?
Oh, +1, sorry, because you're using a knife.
Yeah.
So it's your strength +1.
Yeah.
+4.
+4 successes. Yeah. Is 7. +2 auto successes because of the potence.
I don't like you.
Look, I'm a little social butterfly, not a sword wielding.
I thought you wanted to
Badass.
be the demon. Jesus, Irene.
She wants to. She's working on it.
When the countdown is started, Lelia coats her blade. She'll coat it with an additional blood cell. 2 blood points, so it does 2 additional egg damage, I think. Unless she just needs to roll something real quick for that. She's fine. So she gets, I think, 14 automatic successes.
Jesus Christ.
13 plus 1. Plus 5 is 19. She's auto-spending potions. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 aggravated. Ulric will get, I think, gets. What does he have? Here, 4, 5, 2, 11, 10. 10 plus 3. Oh, actually, I had 2 dice. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 ag from Delia. 10. No, sorry, 11 for Ulric. So 10 plus 4 plus 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. Ag. Fire ag.
I think it's dead now.
This thing can auto-soak a lot of damage.
Fucking hell.
I think Ulric may be enough anyway. Because he does fire, so
Yeah.
the immense amount of fortitude cannot auto-soak. Abraham will not strike.
Does this require a path roll on our side?
But this thing's a total monster. This thing's the equivalent of a demon. Killing it is not a path check.
Okay.
It's like a horrible, literal, like, monster. It does not soak nearly enough. It can auto soak a lot of damage, but Ulric's attack, and I'll say for thematic flavor, your own. Never underestimate the fledgling.
Underestimate too lethal? How could I?
3.
Fair enough. 3.
You managed to slip in the 1 lethal. So busy fending off the other attacks that your blade can slip in cleanly. As you everyone thrusts their blade into it, it juts awake, screams out a horrible scream that causes the entire area to just quiver. And then burst into ash. And there's only a stone tablet, which Ulric just picks up.
Eirene looks a bit scared as he's picking it up, and she's like about to basically, make sure that her hands at least touch it before his.
He doesn't seem affected at all. But more importantly, someone speaks to you, all of you, and just says, I can't believe this is how it ends.
Is it
I
like
can.
it's like a male voice? Oh boy. Who were you?
Oh, I'm the Red Man.
She blinks. She has heard that name, but she has no clue.
Ulric looks at him as if he's very familiar. Everyone was kind of very surprised to see the Red Man just appear by the way. They all looked like they just got a real life heart attack. Even Abraham is just like frustrated.
Eirene looks mostly confused.
I just have to wonder where all that food went. He like pokes like at the ash and like spirals with it. Like makes a cute little shape. He's just like dipping his finger in the ash and twirling. You would think someone who ate so many people would be rather fat.
Eirene really doesn't know what's happening here. Like, I'm sorry, she has no clue. So she's just kind of staring, then looking at Ulric and staring again.
Just give the man his space.
Hmm?
Ulric just pulls Irene to one side and just give the Red Man his space. He's a very old Markavian.
Okay. Well, I mean, Eirene will not get in the way.
The Red Man says to Ulric, why did you wait 100 years to do this? Ulric looks very confused. This took far too long. At least I can go outside again. place won't smell so bad now. I'm going home. And he disappears again. And that's Irene's introduction to the Red Man.
I think Irene will still need to get some lessons to understand the significance of that.
Yeah. Ulric just says he's not like most Methuselahs. He comes and goes. He doesn't plot and scheme.
He's a Methuselah. See.
So we respect him even if he is strange and seemingly random. He was probably trying to tell me something, but I can rarely interpret his statements accurately. We have some history, although his personal history is probably much longer than his with mine. Sorry, than mine with his.
I may assume so.
We got what we came for. It seems dormant. We should lock it up somewhere safe. Somewhere contained, something with the power to... I could probably manufacture something to contain this.
Lord Ulric, Prince Ulric, may I? As she kind of reaches out.
Do you
I mean,
think
she does look
think
somewhat hesitant.
either me or Ulric is going to allow you to commit to self-suffering this evening, madam? Nope.
Oh, come on.
You don't get to suicide.
If you want to know whether this does something, I might be of assistance that way. Besides, I want to find out. There are 3 of you here who can very easily snap me out of this, if need be.
No, it's not easy.
Fair enough, it's maybe not easy, but you could very easily kill me if need be.
Does your desire for answers supersede your own desire for sanctity?
They are at war with each other, I will admit. One of the things that that I could not let go is I wonder if I was just a thing that came on our path, or if I was more. And I must admit, I want to finish this properly. I want to show her what I really feel for her.
You're expecting an honest answer.
No. I don't know. perhaps. I'm asking this as a favor, but also so that I may find some information that might be worth something to us.
He looks at you because I think it's fair to say, with what you said so far, that is clearly not true and probably outright a lie.
No,
I mean, Irene has clearly stated she's doing this for self-interested reasons.
I mean, she said, I'm asking this as a favor, but also to find out answers.
Yeah, for herself, personal answers.
No.
Don't you know me? It's literally what she said.
Yes, that's the favor part. The answers are not for her. I mean, technically, they are because she wants to see that bitch destroyed as much as Ulric does.
Nothing is gained from getting the last word in.
Why did you bring me? I think with that, she'll actually start walking back. Not that she really knows how to get up there, but hey.
Well, Ulric will start walking back and explain why. Pretty much give the same reason he did before. He also say, I guess, because I wanted to show you something. I suppose a part of me wanted you to be a little bit more like me.
Did I fail your test, Prince?
No, now you're far too much like me. Kind of says that in a half joking, half serious fashion. Like, it's true, but it also makes it somewhat entertaining.
My Prince, I want to help you in any way I can. Even if that means putting my life on the line.
And you did today. I'm proud of you.
You did not allow me to help in any way I can. If there's any flaw to you, then I would say that you are too protective. I can't see that as a flaw, but
Pick your battles.
sometimes the fight itself is worth more than the outcome.
I'm sure Michael would agree.
I think that is the biggest compliment you have ever given me.
It's a compliment, it's also one set of a great deal of bitterness.
I realize that.
I know that's not Elroy talking, that's just me describing it.
I mean, okay.
Ulric won't go out of his way to explain that. I said that with bitterness, by the way. That's right, bitch. Yeah.
She'll just like place her hand on his. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, come, let's get you out of this dusty hole.
And she'll give a look at the stone plate. And I would ask that you would not tell me where you hide it. I don't expect you were planning to, but
I was, but I'll take your advice.
I understand why you do it, but part of me is almost longing to touch it, I guess. There was a sort of comfort back in those days.
I understand. He'll summon some arms of the abyss to take everyone back up to the top.
Yay!
The Sombra Express, choo-choo. Meanwhile, as they're kind of talking, Lelia's just kind of smiling everybody. She just snap, crackle, and pops, disappears, pops back onto the carriage, and just says, "If you're quite done playing the role of Toreador, I'd like to go home." That bitch called you Toreador, Eirene. What you gotta say to that?
Nothing. Toreador is not as bad as being called creative.
True. Come, Layla. You accomplished exactly what you and your cast set out to do. You did good work today. I always do good work. I think with these two pseudo bickering, we can end the scene there. Thank you for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. We'll see you next time.